So the most simple part went wrong, but it's no problem. Okay, so I cleaned it up, and the funny thing is, it's hard to see, but you can actually, it's quite hard to see what the traces are. Since I think what's happening is, first of all, it's really tiny traces, but what I think our mind is set to green, kind of, supposedly. We look for green first, not for silver in this case. So I want to try to see the lines, but it's quite hard. They blend all over the place. But it's two AMT membranes, really small, because I thought, well, let's see how small we can go. The space in between these traces is 1 millimeter, so really I'm really glad this plotter thing finally works, and it works surprisingly well. Even this fold into the aluminum, it was on the roll like this, it cuts through it, it's no problem. It doesn't mind much. Also, I wanted to have a bigger cutting mat, and these self-healing cutting mats, or whatever, sounds like something that's not possible. They are really expensive, but there's one store, The Action, has these A3 paper size. They're really cheap, like €2.50 or something. It's like one fifth or 1/6 or 1/8 of the original price, but not bigger than this. But apparently you can just put them behind each other and tape them together, and it works great. Although this is not a good example because it just is within one cutting mat. But I made bigger parts or bigger things that uses two cutting mats, and it works. So it's only €5 compared to €40 or something. So that's 1:8, by the way. Yeah. So that's nice. I'm gonna put this on some foil and play with it. But I'm glad this ugly thing works. It's just a roll and cutter, plotter, vinyl cutter, and it's attached to my like sled, which self levels. So even if this thing is not properly level, it doesn't really mind because it's primarily cutting because of weight. So if the material is thicker, I should add some more weight. These pieces of wood are there to stabilize it. I should make a new sled, but you know how it goes. You just want to see if it works. So I used some stuff that you can use to cover a book. It's plastic with adhesive. It's like a really big roll of tape. I thought it's sticky. Give it a try. I cannot fold it like this because it's sticky all over the place, but I'm gonna add some chalk, the stuff you put on babies, and sounds like it's a machine or something, but you use for babies, the stuff that smells really terrible. So this is a typical way I work, or I'm not sure if you can call it work, but I didn't plan on making an AMT at all. I was playing with the plotter. I made some quasi ribbon things, and then I thought, well, let's see if I can make a AMT and use very crappy magnets. So what I'm gonna do is not making gazillion folds, but just just as much as there normally would be in this planar thing. But this is some baby stuff, chalk, and we're gonna make this foil not as sticky as it was. It's also way too much. You can never use too much, apparently. That's quite... It's enormous, way too much. Not sure what the material is of this plastic, by the way. So, really curious. This is, well, this is a bit too much of the chalk. Yeah, that's gonna be messy. It is messy already. Oh. Sort of clean my bench, not too much. I mean, it remains dirty, but... Okay, so it doesn't stick anymore. You see, I can just grab it. Now about folding, I really have no clue if this works at all. So I might just try or something. I could cut it to well, whatever. I'm gonna fold it. So let's see. This is gonna be the outside. The first fold is gonna be like this. Yeah. I'm gonna use a jig, as you can see. Quite a sturdy material this is. Doesn't keep folds at all, but that's gonna be really hard. Not sure how I'm gonna do this. The folding part is completely shite. The foil is way too thick. But yeah, I just wanted to try because it's sticky and well, just want to see what it does. Especially, and that's the main reason, with this magnet. It's rubber magnet, it's weak as hell. It's the same stuff I use in the planars, except that this is even thicker. It's really thick and really wide. I mounted it in some rubber magnet, 2 or 4 pieces actually, because I wanted to hold the membrane as well. It has insane amount of folds of 1, 2, 3, and actually it is. I forgot I had to have uneven amount. So this fold is actually not doing much. You can see it at the top. You can see one fold going backward, that's good. Then forward, backwards, forward. And then it could go one more time backwards and then forwards. So I kind of made a mistake in making the fast membrane. But as you can see, this is really tiny. Very tiny folds as well. Only 2 that are actually working. The third one is in a different angle. It's not working. At least it doesn't contribute to what I get. I added some foam or foam felt. This is like really the fastest, cheapest, crappy tweeter I put together just for fuck's sake, I think. And now let's measure it real quick. It's gonna be nasty high frequency only, my guess. Oh, actually, there's a crossover active still. Let's remove it, but I don't think it's gonna do much. No, sounds about the same, actually. Yeah. So I am gonna use crossover to save it. Okay. So what do we got? At 1 meter, or maybe even more. It's not even that bad. As you can see, distortion is, there's a tiny hump here. Not sure what it is. There's metal behind the thing that doesn't supposed to be there, so that's gonna contribute as well, but that actually doesn't look that bad. Pretty nice, fast cobble together tweeter in, I don't know, 15 minutes. Especially this distortion here looks promising, like flat line. At resonance, by the way, so that's weird. But yeah. Okay. I wanted to test my plotter, that's all. I'm just gonna throw this in the bin again, and no, it can do 1 millimeter pieces. That's what I wanted to test, actually. But if you're halfway there, then you can just might as well mount it up and see what it does.